under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Down, not in one direction. Rana is trying to escape. You know, on the oh my goodness, the Melina, and the Melina Blitz just keeping her alive. But that was a
Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Let's go.
Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute. If I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom, read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on where I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wayland Gaming. This is Wayland here bringing you another round in the Madagascar tournament. The All Madagascar tournament. It is Group F in the Hunter tournament, and up first in this best of one we have Level 1 Esports up against Dominators. We're into the coin toss already, and well, it was Level 1 winning the coin toss and opting to go with the first pick's first ban. And we're into the lobby banning phase, and I'm sure those of you tuning in, right, you're very used to the lobby banning phase. It's been around for a while now, since the introduction. And Level 1 banning out Yuzong and Amon as their two bans. Grok and Kimmy coming in as the bans from the Dominators. So this is setting up already just from looking at the bans. It seems there's some definite strategies in mind from these two teams. They obviously know each other very well, and there is the potential for these respect bans. I mean, okay, Grok, let's be honest, right? Grok is just a natural ban. You're gonna ban out a Grok anytime. Kimmy, I think they must have been a combination that Level 1 used with the Grok and Kimmy. It is quite a deadly combo, so they got rid of that from the equation. With Level 1, they seem to have went for the Yuzong, so no, possibly want to go for that healer composition. They're probably thinking of going in a little bit tanky, so without the Yuzong for the backline dive, it leaves it a little bit easier for themselves. And Amon is, I think, a respect ban coming through. Strong jungler, very strong jungle, but there are other stronger junglers at this moment in time, because Amon does have a certain weakness. When you cancel out that conceal of his, it causes a bit of problems there. Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me. It seems that we have sorted out the sound issue. Okay, good. All right, so we're heading off into the match, and let me get me off screen, and then we can head off into the game. And into the actual banning phase we go. It's okay, I can't even see what the letters over here. I think it's Zul below with the first ban, going for a Lucas ban, so XP laner being removed from the equation. Or potential jungle. There are some players who love to play that Lucas in the jungle as well. I think he may fare better in the jungle than the XP lane, because we've got some monsters on the XP lane at this moment in time, like CC for instance, right? CC not being banned out just yet, so a potential first pick coming through for the side of Level 1. Let's see what they decide to go for. Dominators opting to ban the Kagura, so once again sticking to the theme of respect bans, which is a decent strategy in my opinion. Because when you remove a lot of players' comfort picks, it makes it a bit. You're gonna have an easier time to win the game. Zushin being removed from the equation by the side of Level 1, that would possibly be to get some of those tanky-ish sustained frontliners. There we go. There's Alan Becker looking like he's gonna pick up the Fredrin first. We did suspect Level 1 was gonna go for this tanky healing composition, especially with the Yuzong ban coming through. And it just makes it a little bit better in the sense that Xborg was removed from the equation, so you know you don't have the true damage coming through on that Xborg. But Robson Summer deciding to go for a tanky composition of their own with the Uranus, who is already hard to kill, and then you add the Hot Guard from the Angela, and that just makes him near impossible to kill. So we would expect a lot of anti-heals to be coming out from the side of Level 1 very early on. And instead of going for the burst composition, picking Cash there, picking up the Eve, potentially to just slow everybody down and not allow them to get into your face as much.
because Uranus, that's what he needs to do to build his stacks. He's got to be taking a lot of damage. He's going to be in your face. That's a good pick coming out from the side of Dominator's Echoes there on the Valir. Or as the guy actually pronounces his own name, Valor. We actually in Southern Africa say Valir, but it's Valor. When you actually listen to him say it himself. And the Alucard ban coming out, it's interesting. Let me put it that way, right? Because you already have a Fredrin, and Fredrin's not exactly a flex pick. Unlike the Ruby, because Ruby can be played in XP and can be played in Gold, we do have this fighter meta in the Gold lane that currently exists. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to see. Banning out the Alice jungle, I have noticed that there's quite a few Madagascar and especially the Nigerian teams, when we featured them in the previous tournament in Conquerors of Dawn, they love an Alice in the jungle. They draft and set accordingly to this Alice pick and try to get that Alice online. Because, you know, once Alice is online and if you don't have the burst potential to deal with her, she's just super annoying. She's just going to be able to get in and out. Nice pick from Nas there on the YSS. YSS and Lance with the two jungle still available, and we all know how deadly they are. And well, YSS into this composition is looking tasty. The question is now, are Dominators going to go for the fighter on the gold lane? And they have the choice to see. Because, I mean, okay, it's a Clint being picked up. Maybe, potentially, you would want to rock either maybe a Bane or a CC on the XP lane. I mean, on the gold lane. I mean, I granted you can't pick up a MM. There we go. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking CC on the gold lane. You already have an MM in the jungle. You've got a roam that is technically a support, right, in Angela. So you need that extra bit of frontline, and then picking up the fighter in the XP lane, in the gold lane, is just could be a nail in the coffin for the side of level 1. I mean, they do have the Gatto, so they've got that backline dive potential, and they don't have a too bad of a draft themselves. However, I would be leaning a little bit towards Dominator's draft simply because of the Uranus Angela Valir combo with CC added to the mix. So they've got a super strong lineup, and Uranus opting, as you can see, for the Revitalize instead of either Vengeance or Flicker. Really going in for full-on tank mode here. So this is going to be interesting. Though we can't count level 1 out, we know how well they play, how well they synergize. We see 100% of the votes going the way of level 1. But it all comes down to execution. So draft is draft, and as massively important as the draft is, and it is massively important, you got to execute this properly. You got to be moving as a team. This is a 5-man sport. And so a lot depends on how well you synergize with one another. I mean, just look at this from the Gatto Eve combo already. They want to go in and get as much poke onto the Valir as possible, just to try and prevent some rotations. But Gatto with the scout out wanted to go for maybe a quick level 2. Ooh, the taunt coming in there from slot, just slightly behind someone on the Angela. It looks like Dominators very wisely have opted against going for an early game contest for the Litho. I mean, if you're looking at the trio versus trio, it's just YSS. He needs to farm his way up before he can actually get anything done. Whereas Fredrin, he's online from very early. He's just looking for levels in order to get to his power spike. But here, quick rotation once more. Clint has overextended. There's the engagement here onto Clint, but Clint does have the flicker. Can't get back underneath the turret. Heals coming through from Angela onto Rama as CC with the poke damage. However, Gatto trying to go in with the taunt does manage to land it. CC pops the Vengeance, gets back to safe. As the second skill from Valir just forces everybody back as well. So a little bit of a skirmish here on the gold lane. Still another 20 odd seconds to go before this Lord is back up again. Slot sticking around here. Wants to go in for the double gank play on the gold lane. Sensing that his teammates would be able to hold their own for the most part, but it looks like the turtle is being fight is being set up here. Alan Becker scouted out Uranus into the bush as Fredrin taunts him up, but that's not your target. It's going to be YSS, first phase of the Mountain Shocker out there. He's going to just be dancing around there, Nabs. As once more mid lane being pushed and pressured in there by Eve. There's the Mountain Shocker onto Cash. Takes a little bit of damage. Fredrin has pulled the turtle towards his side. Angela with the stun up play. Meanwhile, Ruby into the backline. Lands the armor fed onto everybody. There's the setup. Real world manipulation comes into play. It's only going to be Echoes that's left alive from that particular engagement. The fight continuing. CC making the rotation, but Fredrin, he's just so tanky. Revitalize comes out from Uranus, but there's going to be the back off here coming from level 1 esports as they take the turtle, take the kills, first blood as well into the mix, and a healthy gold lead being established. Like we said, it all comes down to execution. However, if you're on the side of Dominator, you're not going to stress too much. You knew you didn't have the early game. You went in for the fight. 2 kills, turtle. Yes, that's a disadvantage. 1.5 gold is about 50% of an item, right? It's a couple of small items, so can make a difference again, especially when you have these up against these early game heroes. But you just got to play it a bit safe. You got to make sure that you're going to be okay. And once you head in towards the latter stages of the game, you're going to come to the forefront. Meanwhile, there's an engagement here onto Ruby underneath the turret. Ruby taking a ton of damage. Meanwhile, the counter engage is on the top. There's a lot of pressure being placed on YSS in the jungle. There's Fredrin with a wraparound play. He's trying to get it onto Angela. Wants to land the taunt, but there's Uranus there forcing him back as both teams opted to place pressure on opposite sides of the map, but no harm, no foul so far. YSS, he's gonna Naz here has been seeing a lot of attention from Slot, doing what a roam should be doing, or especially what you expect from a roam, making it difficult in order to oh, nice control here, but the Heart Guard is out once more into the CC. She does pop that Vengeance as well. Pressure being placed here to the mid lane, but I don't think that's going to be anything major to stress about. Meanwhile, Clint seizing the opportunity to go in, taking more than half the gold on the shield, and manages to get back to safety with no damage. The turtle being up, but Gacho, he went in for the taunt. He's going to get thrown up. He's trying to go for the Avatar of Guardian. They avoid the damage. CC into the mix. Does she manage to land this kill? Does get it, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Mountain Shocker has been used, the same with Heart Guard as Fredrin, pulling out this turtle to his side. Valier is in the mix, but this is a 3v2 situation here. This is not ideal, but YSS, he wants to go in. Angela's Heart Guard has been cancelled out there as Fredrin does secure the objective, but there's the control onto 2 real world manipulation. The Praiser's Wrath comes in there, just clutch to take out the Valier like a great sword fall from the heavens. Fredrin, Alan Becker setting up, and jungle invade going on. However, CC is back into the mix. Fredrin does secure the objective. Heart Guard being committed, but I don't think it's going to be too much avail. The damage has already been done. And with this, look at Ruby. First turret off the game. Push, and push some more. Is going to engage onto this Uranus. This is Ruby. I think we'll be going for the damage build. If we just take a look at the builds here. Yeah, the War Axe. You want to out-sustain this Uranus once more. There's the invade. Pressure being placed all across the map as level 1. They've got the butt between their teeth, creating distractions, putting pressure. Clint taking down the next turret. We'll try to hightail it back to safety, knowing that danger could be on its way. And has achieved his goal. So far, from the side of level 1, a very disciplined performance coming through. Fighting only when it's necessary, using the pressure. Oh, nice positioning here from the Gacho. He gets the taunt off. The Heart Guard has to be committed, forced out there onto the YSS, who has to escape to safety. Clint helping to deny the farm. I mean, Sloth has been in Nabs's face literally this entire game. Once more, making his rotation towards the backline. The Mountain Shocker is out, but look at the amount of damage coming through from Clint. The Mountain Shocker does land, but only onto the Uranus. Eve with the pressure, as once more you can see the side of level 1. They're moving as a unit. There's the Amateur of Guardian, slightly off the marker to the clip, but Rama taking a lot of damage, has to pop the Vengeance, being slowed down. There's real manipulation to seal the deal. The fate of Rama has been locked in there, and that is, well, a short trip back to the base. As Fredrin, he's in a 3v1, even with the Valier, he's like, I don't care, I'm going in here. And, well, took a lot of damage, not gonna lie. Alright, with the third turtle being up, this should go the way of level 1. The YSS with the Heart Guard is trying to deal with something. Oh, but look at Sloth once more with that taunt. He's been on point. Oh, Clint with the passive being procced. Third turtle being taken down here. Pressure being placed onto the mid lane. Ruby ceasing up the Uranus. The control is in there. They're setting him up. The Heart Guard comes through there. The Revitalize keeping him safe. There's the Avatar of Guardian slightly off the mark. Villiers push back with the second skill. So Rob does manage to stay alive throughout this engagement. I mean, especially with the Hard Guard, very, very difficult to try and deal with the Uranus. But I think objective achieved for the side of level 1 esports. They've got that mid lane turret. They've got the map opened up. Yeah, going for the damage build on Ruby, I think, was a very wise decision. You're not going to, like, the defensive build won't really give you the sustain that you need to sort of do this. You know, just sit in the face of the Uranus and be able to, like literally man fight this Uranus. Without the damage build, it would have been very difficult. I mean, this is just a, this XP battle, whatever. If we just spend the whole game watching it, it's just going to go back in front and back in front. Maybe it'll be a question of who runs out of mana first. Once more, the jungle invade is on. Valier should scout out the bushes. But Echo is going in. There's the taunt. There's the control. The flicker comes out. Hard Guard with the mountain shocker. Avatar of Guardian into the backline slot once more on point. This guy on Gatto is deadly. Pops the Vengeance as he stays alive. Somehow, 1 HP escapes. Oh, Fredrin with a block, but it's Valier with a burn down. The Prius' rat does land. Fred taking a lot of damage, but there's the real world manipulation to help set up the Clint for the finish off. The first turtle of the game will be up in the next couple of seconds. And look at this from the Ruby. She's somehow managing to survive, force back the Uranus here. And this is going to be good map control for the side of level 1 esports, as it's 3 seconds to the first Lord. Appraiser's Rat secures the blue buff, the stolen blue buff, but won't be available for the Lord. However, to contest this is going to be very, very difficult. The positional advantage is very much in the favor of level 1. Though Clint pushing a little bit here, you know, is, I'd say slightly dangerous territory, but only slightly, because level 1 know they've got the control. They're gone for the 4-1 split, leaving Gatto to deal with one lane. They want to stop CC from getting some, at least alleviating some of the pressure. The chase is on here. CC does have the mobility. She's dishing out the damage onto Fred, as Eve will want to try to go for the cutoff here. The taunt comes in. They're trying to slow down this... Oh, there's a real world manipulation coming in here. The Appraiser's Rat off the mark. They're chasing down CC, but the Hard Guard is in there. There's a turnaround play for Liam, dishing out the damage out of Beckrest. The fireballs just tick down the health of Fredrin there and just sent him back to the base. So could this potentially set up the defense for the side of Dominators? I'm sure their fans will be hoping so. They do have all the holy shields up and running. Lord will be making a charge in here. Stopped before he could even get into the equation, as Gatto was trying to secure another tier 2 turret, but difficult. Fredrin here with the block up, but look at the damage coming out from Clint. However, CC curtain call onto 2, trying to set this up. Gatto, he's trying to block it. There's a mountain shocker, beautifully done. There's a follow-up from the team. They're setting this up like dominoes. Everybody is falling down. Was this gonna be... Oh, Ruby, she's trying to sustain through all of this, but that's going to be a 4 for nothing exchange going in the favor of Dominators. But can they translate this into map control? That's the big question. The waves weren't exactly in their favor. They'll be hoping to at least get this mid lane turret. It's a good few seconds before everyone respawns and can actually come in to defend this mid lane. Fredrin is pretty close by, and you only got a Valier and an Angela trying to put pressure here onto the mid lane. There's Valier trying to control this up, but the second skill, Fredrin trying to control this up. The second skill does come in from the Valier, was forcing him back, and so with that, they've, I wouldn't say equalized the map control, but this game, the balance has swung. As you can see with the gold lead, it also has changed. We were saying this at the start of the stream. We said, look, when it comes to the side of dominators, patience is the name of the game. You don't want to fall too far behind because you've got a late game scaling composition. Hard card comes out from Angela a little bit early. I know it's summertime, but summer is a little bit early here. Actually, it's springtime, so summer's a little bit early with that hard guard. Especially considering we just have about 30 seconds to the Lord. But the hard guard should be available by then. CC being controlled up there. There's the armor fended into the mix, but somehow CC's dancing to safety. The hard guard comes out once more. And Dominators, especially Rama there on the CC, surviving that little bit of an onslaught. But no real major skills have been cast just yet. So everything should be on cooldown and available for this Lord dance. Nice play from the Clint, however, keeping the lane pressured and pushed in there. Angela trying to deal with this. Fredrin taking a lot of damage here, being forced back. But Angela could be in danger here. Clint coming into the mix. He's trying to get the passive proc onto the Angela. She's going to have to run to safety. Throwing out some heals, but Clint will be on the chase as the Lord battle is up and running. Clint dishing out the damage, but there's Uranus. He's there trying to chase it down. The hard guard will be committed onto this... onto the Uranus. Meanwhile, the fight is happening here around the Lord, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange overall. CC into the mix, trying to get in onto this Ruby, dishing out the damage, gets a setup. There's a double kill for the Ruby. The hard card comes in, absolutely clutch. Appraiser's Wrath, but nothing doing. Maniac for the CC. Team wipe. And the Lord. This could be the ending angle here that Dominators were looking for. Can they get the push going? Angela's going to push on the top lane. I thought you would want to be with the team because you can crack this base open and go in wild. It's going to be this mid lane falling down here. It's going to be Clint and Eve left alive to defend this. They need to buy another 10 seconds. Can they get this done? They're trying to get it done. But it's going to be Dominators have opted from... going for a full-on push, deciding to try and take down as many of the tier 3 turrets as possible. Once more hard guard onto the Uranus. He's taking a ton of damage here. As Clint does have like more or less full build at this moment in time. Almost completed. But that should be the final tier to the turret. There's the Avatar of Guardian, manages to catch on to 2. The armor-fended follow-up. Appraiser's Wrath as well into the mix. Is this a turnaround from the side of level 1? There's the real-world manipulation into the mix here. It's a 2-for-1 exchange, but the base, there's so much pressure. However, YSS, the marksman, the jungle marksman, can't find the angle to get through for the lock-on. Now it's all about the disengage. Can they get the disengage done? Fredrin doesn't want to let this happen. Uranus, he's sustaining through all of this. Pops the revitalize. There's going to be the Appraiser's Wrath coming through. Valier zoning everybody away. Huge battle here in the mid lane. But no one did just yet. So the retreat should be on for the side of Dominators. And they've changed this around. into 12 in their favor. Dominators picking up a 2k gold lead as well, about 2.5k gold lead in their favor. It's level 1. A lot of this is going to come down to being able to keep the Clint safe. He is your main source of damage right now, and it's just you got to get the control into the front line to give him the space to do what he needs to do. The anti-heals being picked up by... Who has the anti-heals here? So it's Ruby with 1 anti-heal. You've got Gatto with another anti-heal. Clint with a 3rd. Eve also has one. So they've got enough anti-heals, right? This is the thing, right? You gotta ignore the Uranus, right? Just let maybe Ruby or Fred... actually, Ruby deal with the Uranus. Fredrin needs to try to get somewhere close to the backline. But that Valier pick is a problem. Because Valier is gonna hurt the Fredrin. It's difficult for level 1 right now. They're going to need an Avatar of Guardian. The Avatar of Guardian is they're going to be their saving grace. If they can land that, catch maybe 2 or 3 of the backline in that Avatar of Guardian. It could be a game changer. Fredrin almost thought he could see the angle there to get onto the YSS. Naz was in a hot water if he managed to secure that. And especially with the Lord being up, it could have been a very risky play. Once more, there's a hard guard here onto Uranus. He's zoning everybody, locking them into the base. He's going to get controlled up, but you don't want to use too much of the skills onto him. Gatto trying to find that angle. He wants to land the Avatar of Guardian. He's going in. He goes in there. There's going to be the Mountain Shocker coming through. How can he get this done? Is he going to fight the Lord? Is he chasing? They're trying to wait for the retribution. Is he going to land the taunt? Oh my goodness. Gatto! He gets the kill, but Valir secures the Lord. Meanwhile, the fight is going on in the base here. It's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange. Ruby somehow keeping everybody alive with this hard guard is just so much of sustain. But and look at Clint. Passive proc forcing everybody back, but there's the angle. This is what they needed. The arm offended, lands onto 2, forcing everybody back. They need to get the lock onto the turret. Can they actually get this done here? The base is open. There's pressure being placed. CC with a lock, and that's going to be game, set, match, going the way of Dominators in this first game of the evening. Very exciting matchup between these two teams. A lot of back and front action here, but while we get into the analysis and while we get the lobby set for the next game, those of you tuning in, don't forget to smash that like, share, and subscribe button. You really do help us out on the channel when you subscribe and like and share, because it gets the content out there and we can continue to bring even more Mobile Legends action from across Africa, Madagascar, Mauritius, and, well, you know, we love this game, so the more action that's available, the better. But with that being said, we can see Rama picking up the MVP on the CC. Picked up a Maniac as well in the match, so quite nicely done there. And Clint, the MVP for the side of level 1. I'll just keep the data up and running, so you can just take a look at who did what damage, pushing, etc. Because statistics, especially if you're going to be one of those players who are going to be facing one of these teams come the round of 16, if they make it through, you'll be interested to see the styles of play, which can be determined by looking at their statistics. But with that being said, we're going to have the pause screen up and running for just a moment. We'll be back with you in a second with the next game of the evening, which will be the one featured here on Waylander Gaming. Will be Noxia up against Dominators. So that will be coming up next in the next, I think, maybe about 4 or 5 minutes. So we'll see you shortly.
Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing, yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Down, Nana in one direction. Rana is trying to escape. On the oh my goodness, the Melina, and the Melina Blitz just keeping her alive.
But that was a
Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best teacher system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing, yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Rana in one direction. Rana is trying to escape. On the... Oh my goodness. The Melina. And the Melina Blitz just keeping her alive.
But that was a
your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your proof. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it...
Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream once again. This time round we're in for the second game of the evening, the second game of Group F that we're featuring. There was another one on Saya Esports, right? I think, or Saya Gaming. That's currently happening. I think it's live now, right now. We're dual streaming this, so, you know, pick your platform that you enjoy. But before you do, don't forget to vote in the poll. I want to see what your opinions are. So we have Noxia up against Dominators. Dominators, I think, went for the coin toss. Did they win? They picked Tails. Yeah. So pick Tails. Tails it was. It's Dominators with the choice, and I think they're going to go for the left side because, I mean, when you do have an option, mostly everyone likes to go for the first pick, first bans, especially into a game that is a best of one, because the picks and bans are going to play a massive part in terms of your strategy. So into the lobby bans we go. It's Florin and Camilla being removed from the equation. So hard focusing the Roma from the side of Noxia here. Our Dominators, Florin and Camilla. Not often that you get to see the Romas being focused on. And Dina Pichu for the side of Noxia, the captain there, banning out Yuzong and YSS. So some very strong bans, some very target specific bans coming through from both teams in the lobby phase. We'll be heading off into the matchup now very, very shortly. So while we're doing that, like I said, don't forget to get your votes in the poll. I see 100% of the votes going the way of Dominators right now. So everybody after Dominators' last performance deciding that, you know what, that's the one that they want to, this is the team that they think is going to be favorites into this particular matchup. But with that being said, it's still the drafting phase to go, and the drafting phase, as we know, is a bit of a chess match between the two teams. Picks and counter picks, how you're going to strategize, you're going to have a particular composition in mind. Can you get what you need? Is that strategy going to play a part? Because when you get your draft right, it makes the game a lot easier. I always say this, 70% of the game is won or lost in the drafting phase. So it's like one of those must win situations. You'll notice that on the pro scene, they give them this like incredibly long time to decide on their picks and bans. We don't get that luxury here, but you know, it is what it is. But let's head off into this drafting phase. First ban straight off the bat is Echoes getting rid of CC. CC did a very, very good job for the side of Dominators in the last match, but they don't want to, looks like they don't want to rock that CC. The CC in the gold lane was a superbly clever pick from the side of Dominators. Kimmy being banned out, as we all know, Kimmy in terms of early game control, especially when paired up with heroes like a Grok, like a Gatto, like a Hylos, even especially can be very dangerous. So always a good one to get removed from the equation. And this time it's going to be the Angela pick coming out first. So his Summer locking onto that Angela, saying it may be spring, it may be early for Summer, but Summer's going to lock onto that Angela. Dina Pichu with the Belleric in response. So with Belleric being picked up, it means that we probably are not going to see an attack speed marksman on the gold lane for the side of Dominators. So are they really going to go for the 1-1? 1-1 could work here. I mean, there's attack speed marksman. Once she gets that crossbow tanks, She's immune to pretty much everything. So she can second skill to escape the Wrath of Dryads. Though I'd be thinking of maybe picking up a Bane on the gold lane. Well, even Leslie, Clint, or Granger can work as well. Leslie is a super hard counter to both the Esmeralda and the Belleric in the late game. The question is Noxia going to give them the opportunity to get the Leslie online and fed? And whoa, not a hero we often get to see. Astra picking up Eudoraphobia. So it's bush camping time. It's going to be dangerous. It's like nowhere is safe with a good Eudora player on the map. She's got that one-shot capabilities that can take down literally anybody. So Angela and Leslie are going to be a little bit fearful. At the same time, I don't think we'll see Naz go for that assassin jungle, or will we? I mean, I personally would not want to play an assassin into a Eudora. And Tempest Sky, Yuzong was banned out in the lobby phase. Phoveus could definitely work as a pick. Combines very nicely with the Angela as well. Ooh, and Alice coming through. So it looks like they're going for the Alice jungle play, our dominators, and they're going to be structuring their entire lineup. Oh no, it's going to be Alice in the XP lane. I'm not sure how she's going to fare up against the Esmeralda. I'll be interested to look at that matchup. And Rama deciding to go for the Lancelot. He can second skill immune that stun, because Eudora, if you don't get that second skill ultimate first skill combo, I mean, if he hits that the Thorn Rose, which is Lance's second skill, and avoids the stun coming in from Eudora, then the rest of the combo falls flat, because it's that stun that sets the whole thing up. It's got the it sort of decreases your magic defense massively. And it's got that lockdown to make sure that the ultimate does hit. Right? So Lance is not a bad pick into a Eudora, but it all comes down to timing. Yeah, Tempest, you called it correct. Lance is one of the few assassins that can deal with a Eudora. Lance, Ling, Fanny as well. Huge now with the final pick for the side of Noxia, going for the alpha play, just to provide that bit of true damage to deal with the Uranus Alice combo that's going to be frontlining. But into the game we go. This time round, Dominators with on the blue side, and we have Noxia in the red. It's going to be an interesting match here, as they're throwing in Uranus into the mid lane with the Angela. So it's going to be Uranus, I think, on the roam position, and Angela in the mid. It's been a very long time since we've seen that, and this is what I was interested to look at, is Naz up against Sayori. Alice versus the Esme, as to who's going to out-sustain whom. Nice positioning here from Rubs. He does scout out the Eudora. Takes a bit of damage. Repositions. Will get taunted up by the Belleric. But I mean, that's what he wants. Just to get his passive proc. Goes back in there. He's got the Revitalize still. So knows he can play super aggressive. It looks like it's Alice winning this battle. Forcing Naz forcing Sayori back to the base. To heal back up, and with that went in for the dive a little bit, but should be able to seal quite a bit of gold. Meanwhile, the pressure being placed once more into the jungle. I love this rotation style from Robs. He's been in the face of whoever's the jungler, no fear kind of play from him, as he's been giving all the vision in the world to his team, so they can make the decisions properly, how they're going to set up. He did that in the first game, doing it in the second now. Once more, look at this, just the shadowing of who he needs to shadow. Angela, okay, this is the thing with Angela. If you're wondering why the recall came out so early, Angela is one of those heroes. Oh, the Spear of Alpha coming in, but not on the mark. As Alice, she's got those skills, right? So she wants to dance around and bait out as many of the abilities as possible before this turtle dance begins. So nice play in there. Yeah, Angela is mana heavy. Yeah, Tempest, I agree with you. It's going to be a very difficult fight with Alice getting the level 4, but she doesn't. She's trying to build up the stacks here. There's Beleric taunting everybody. Angela into the mix. The Uranus, he throws out the Revitalize. He's trying to keep everybody alive, but Eudora's into the backline. She doesn't have the level 4. There's Alice coming to the forefront. It's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. The pressure being piled on. If Astra picked up that level 4, could have been a game-changing moment. Went for the right angle there to get in onto that Angela, but just didn't have the finisher. And so that's just like the first game. It's 2 kills and a turtle going to the side on blue, but this time Dominator's not on the receiving end. Lance with the punctures, throws out the Thorn Rose into the mix. He gets the retribution off, continuing with the punctures, dancing out Spear of Alpha into the base for a safety. Beleric taking the damage, as Eudora does have the level 4 this time around, but can't get the target on. As Esmeralda, she's trying to sustain through all of this. Will we see the Thorn Rose coming once more? It's Alice. She's dancing in underneath the tower. Oh my goodness, I thought Lance was going to go in for the Thorn Rose. He's going in for the puncture. He's deciding to disengage because, I mean, if you don't want to. Bomusama here making the rotation across of that Clint. But that gave Leslie the opportunity to do risks. Look at the amount of gold Leslie pulled from the shield here. But Eugenia saying, you know what? You stole my red buff. I'm coming to steal yours. It's a steal for a steal. But the pressure has been placed very heavily at this early stage in the game by the side of Dominators. They've got gold upon gold shields being eaten up here. Huge now with the engagement. Wants to try to land the Spear of Alpha, but couldn't find that angle straight onto that Angela. Wanted to get her underneath the turret, but Angela just that slight sidestep. Oh, but there's the combination onto the Angela. Revitalize not enough to save Alpha in a bit of danger here. Thorn Rose does come on, but Alpha, Huge just survives to all of this Beleric. With the block here, Dina just keeping that Alpha safe. Nice play coming in from the combination of Astra and Eugenia there. Securing the first kill for Noxia, getting it onto on the board, but still, there's a 2k, 3k gold lead in the favor of Dominators right now. And the pressure is being piled on here as it's gonna be engaged, but Thorn Rose comes out as Lance picks up one more kill. Is he going to go into the puncture play once more? Did use the Phantom Execution already? Oh, Echoes. And this is not the hero you want to give the gold to. If Echoes gets fed on this Leslie, this could spell disaster. Meanwhile, Alice, she's like, with the hot gun, I don't care about nobody's ultimates. I'm going to survive through everything. And I think with this, we might see the first turret of the game fall here in the bot lane. Or is it a race between top and bot lane? Now it will be the bot lane.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Shuren, I think based on the names of the players, I would say this is definitely a girl team. But, you know, sometimes those names can be a little bit of a... Oh, look at the Phantom Execution. However, the Wrath of Dryads catches him. But the Thorn Rose, this Lancelot's on fire. The heals from... the Angela keeping him alive. There's Alpha, Spear of Alpha into the mix, but he's gonna be in a lot of danger here. There's a hot gun onto Uranus as he's just walking through everybody, and they take another 2 more as the mid lane has been cracked open like a nut at Christmas. And with this, we should see nice lane cut coming through here from Naz. Just ensuring that the wave can take out that final turret. Angela with this hot guard threat is just causing consternation for the side of Noxia. Oh, pressure being placed once more. They're revitalized, but there's the hard guard. Wrath of Dryads in from the Belleric. Alpha trying to get close, but the stun comes in from Alice as she sets the team up. It's a killing spree for Alpha. There's a Spear of Alpha as they manage to drag back one, but Lance doesn't have the Thorn Rose available. Uranus underneath the turret, he's like, I don't even need to worry about the Thorn Rose. Oh, it's gonna be a double going the way of Uranus. Tier 2 turret will fall here. Lancelot, in on fire, dishing out the damage. Leslie taking a lot of damage here from Clint. Clint wants to get the passive proc, but the conceal comes out from Echoes here on the Leslie repositioning. Just take a look at the gold here. I just want to see what Leslie is cooking at this moment in time. Very, very nice. Went for the part of the rose gold meteor just to sustain the damage from the Clint. Has already picked up the Berserker's Fury already. So with another item, almost done. Leslie's going to be online very soon. As you can see, the pain sort of being dished out here. There's a passive being proc. It's going to be Wrath of Dryads, but once more, Dina being taken out. Astra chases down Uranus front line here for the team. It's going to be Alice underneath the turret as well. They're chasing down the Esmeralda. She's not even safe. There's the Phantom Execution. Execution on point. Third and final turtle up. Are they going to wait the 13, 12 seconds to the Lord? Yeah. Look at that play from Rama. Nice mapper. I will say map awareness, but it's really timer awareness, as they have the opportunity now, Dominators, to, if they can get the lanes pushed in, because they've got the tier 2 turrets down, they just need the holy shields to go. And you can see Noxia, they realize this, they want to defend the holy shields. There's one being taken out. That should be the second one as well. The third, I don't think will be being taken down from them. Yeah, Johari is looking rough here for the side of Noxia. The amount of sustain. I mean, look at Alice. She's in a 1v4, knowing the hard guards available. She's like, I don't care about the amount of control. Oh, the Spear of Alpha drags him onto the turret. But look at Alice. She gets out of the equation. And it's going to be sustaining through everything. 1v5. Is it a double? No. Angela does secure the kill. There's a Thorn Rose coming in from the lawns. He's on an unstoppable. Leslie with a follow-up. Revitalize, keeping everybody alive. It's only Eudora. Astro versus the world right now. The pressure being placed. This could be it. They got the opportunity to lock on. It's just Astra left alone to defend. She tries to go in. Phantom Execution. Mega kill going the way of Leslie. Clint trying to do something. They're engaging them in the base, but that's game, set, match. Dominators taking both games in Group F. So picking up max points as we will be heading into day number 2 tomorrow. So Tempest guessing the MVP here, and it is his summer with the MVP. And I mean, look, Naz was very, very close. So Tempest, you were close in terms of your call. It was only a 0.4 in terms of scoring, but let's be honest, when there's an Angela on the team, and especially with Angela's hard guards being very much on point in this match, it was hard for that hard guard to go anybody else's way. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winners for the 2 games featured this evening. It's Dominators in both matches. Firstly, beating out Level 1 in an extremely tightly contested match, and then domination here in the second game up against Noxia. But well played to all teams involved and the players. And with that, it concludes day number 1 in Group F for the Hunter tournament, all the way from Madagascar. This is Wayland. Thank you for tuning in to watch. Tempest, you're very, very welcome. Don't forget, everybody, to smash that like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you tomorrow night as Group F continues. And we'll be seeing, because day number 2 is that day. You know, it's that iffy-ish day. It's the one where, depending on how you perform, positions could more or less be decided. But Dominators, I think, with this day number 1 performance, have laid down a marker in Group F and have definitely secured themselves top spot going into game 2. But for myself, Waylander, thank you for tuning in to watch. To a big shout out to the organizers of the Hunter tournament. This is an excellently run tournament. We've had fun right throughout all of the group stages, all 6 of the group stages. We're in Group F right now, the 6th and final group. We'll be heading into the final 16 come next weekend. So big shout out to them and to you guys who tuned in to watch. Thank you as usual. It's a pleasure to cast for you.